What's happening? It's Miss Cool. Happy Thanksgiving. I'm probably going to do a shout out. Who cares? I'm putting my makeup on, right? Because sometimes that's just how I roll, you know. You got to keep it real. Is that sun bugging me? It sure the hell is. Hold up. Don't look at my big butt now. I look like my grandma. My grandma had a big butt. Not my grandmother, my Jewish grandmother. I can talk about my ethnicity or whatever you call it if I want. For those of you out there, that think I can't talk about my bloodline, shut up. I can say what I want. So watch. You're going to see Beauty and the Beast. I'm the Beast. The Beauty's going to happen. Real quick, we're going to do a little talking this morning about Thanksgiving, what you're thankful for, what Miss Cool been through. I can talk about myself, right? Can I? There's nothing worse. I'm going to jump around. First of all, if you don't like the topic, you can get off. If you're offended, goodbye. If you're worried I'm going to say something that might, hurt your feelings, goodbye. Hopefully you can handle the conversation, because I know I can, because I'm laying it down. The foundation's already there with Miss Cool. I'm going to say what I want to say anyway. Okay? A lot of people use sponges. I like to use my fingers. Put on a kind of foundation here. The reason I'm putting on foundation also, sometimes in the summer and stuff, they say it's really bad makeup, but this actually will protect your face from a lot of the, the sun rays and stuff. So it's not always bad. It can, some things that it would appear to look bad end up kind of branching out being good. Although you got to face up when you don't have makeup on who you are. And I do that often. Okay, back to what I was talking about. Today's Thanksgiving, right? I can't help but talk to you guys. Let me take a sip here. Once you start drinking coffee with just like half and half and stuff, sweet coffee doesn't really taste good anymore. But I can't help but think about the hotel right now, because I know it's bumping. The hotel is bumping. Because they're going to put out a Sunday brunch, okay? And on that Sunday brunch is going to be magnificent. You're going to have like an omelet station. This is a training I got. You're going to have an omelet station. You're going to have prime rib. I mean, those chefs in the kitchen, you know what they do? I know, you're going to see Beauty and the Beast here. The chefs in the kitchen actually just sit there and make a whole roof on top of that prime rib. Meaning like, rosemary, dill, not dill, but rosemary mostly, thick salts, different seasoning. It's about this high on a piece of prime rib, huge. So they can carve it. But I have a lot of experience in it. Growing up with not a lot of money, I will fix my hair. Growing up with not a lot of money and different things, if you walk into a hotel, try to get the lighting on here. If you walk into a hotel as a young girl and pay $175 a week for your son to be babysat while you get some really cool training in a 5-star hotel, count yourself freaking blessed, not lucky. I never liked that word lucky, but some shit's lucky. Anyhow, it's back to what I was talking about. So being that I worked in a 5-star hotel, today is a day that you do not want to play in the kitchen. Because the kitchen over there is bumping. The chefs are screaming their guts out. I hope you guys like looking at my rear end. Damn. The chefs are over there screaming their butts off about, showtime and different things. Where's my freaking camera on here? It feels dirty. Sometimes I take my camera in the kitchen a lot. Oh, who cares? You know what? This apartment has really issues with lighting. It's like while I'm talking, there we go. Check it out. Yeah, that's good. Anyway, I want to jump around today, you guys. I want to talk to you about some different things. I want to talk to you a little bit about my background, some of the things I was trained to do. Now they have shows where it's Hell's Kitchen or you get to deal with these chefs, right? Well, they didn't have any of those shows when Miss Cool was working, okay? What they did have was, on the job. When you're on the job and that type of stuff, what happens is you learn. That's what life is, right? Either you're learning or fighting it. I'd rather learn, because if I learn, it's going to be a lot easier on me to grasp what I need to be doing. I mean, there's a lot I missed having a baby so young, you know? But if I look at it like that, you guys, and I think to myself, you know, Pamela, you can put on some baby shoes real quick, because a baby hates having his shoes put on, okay? If you've got to run and hurry and get them kids in the car and take them to school, and you're a single parent, you got a badge of honor for being a baby mama. You know, if you've got a daddy at home and you guys are working as a team, count yourself blessed. Because Miss Cool didn't have all that, okay? Now, I'm not a victim, but I got the right to talk about it, don't I? Can I talk about being a single parent? Can I talk about hustling? Because we grinded as single parents and mamas when daddies were gone. Now, I'm not trying to be rude, but some of the dads in particular have come back into, you know, our life. But, you know, don't think the children don't know. Look at this gold necklace my son gave me. And I am wearing it. You know why I'm wearing it proudly? Because I used to put fake gold on his ass. Yeah. I used to put fake gold on my son Coco. And I used to say, you know what? You're somebody. You're going to be somebody. And it worked. Did I do that with the others? Not as much. So that saying always comes forth when they say the baby. I was a baby in my family. I got away with a lot of bullshit. Babies get away with stuff. Because they can put on that face, you know. They're being mean to me, blah, 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 blah. So back to right now what's happening. I can't help but visualize the kitchen. I can't help but visualize what's happening down at a 5-star hotel I got trained and worked at. First of all, like I've told you guys before, the silver room's bigger in my apartment. Locked. I mean, I'm talking chefs going nuts. These chefs, they'd roll in, you know, these carts that have the wheels on them. They would put a gigantic big plastic tub on top that was shaped like a shell, fill the whole sucker with ice, chipped, small, beautiful ice. Then this freaking chef would come in with food coloring, blue, hit that with blue, lay down all the crab legs so it looked like an ocean. I'm talking crab legs, shrimp, you name it, everything's on there. You had to take your hand and just bury it in a big box of seasons and just broadcast it. Okay, that's what they called it, because you had to throw it and it had to land right. There was no gravy in our kitchen. You said sauce. There was no spoons. You put your finger in and went like that. You smelled. We had a stock pot that had everything in it in a steamer. If you didn't have a stock pot in your kitchen, you was messed up. Some of you are asking, what's a stock pot? Well, a stock pot is something that people have to have in a really nice 5-star hotel kitchen that's got all the scraps in it. Meaning like all of the onion shells, celery tops, pieces of fat off the prime rib meat. All of it's in a stock pot boiling and steaming in a steam table. Also in that, what you have is like a whole bunch of butter. These pots are big, okay? They're pretty big. And so they're out sitting up in a steam table. And what you do is you put a whole bunch of butter in the butter one. And what happens is it separates. When butter separates, the chefs take ladles and just take the top. So when you learn all these simple little things that are in a hotel, you know, how to cook and do things properly, it's really awesome. Especially when a chef's wanting you to make a Wardroff salad and it's got walnuts, apples, raisins. It's got beautiful whipping cream you've whipped up, pineapple chunks. You have to put your arms in it all the way to your, like right here. You got a chef's hat on. You're getting down in there, just pulling it up, and it's just beautiful, the smells. I liked being in that size of a kitchen, you guys. It was beautiful. It was showtime, man. Them ice carvings, those chefs out there on the dock with their chainsaws and chisels. They used to joke at Miss Cool. Of course, I was young. Get up on that table, Pamela, and why don't you pose? Yeah, because they were naked mermaids. But, you know, a lot of the dudes in there were partiers. One guy, he used to smoke pot all the time. I could smell it. And we'd get our chef outfits in the morning in the laundry room. Miss Cool was really kind of cool back then. I'm still cool, but you know what I'm saying? I hate to talk about myself, but why can't I? For those of you people that have a problem with people talking about their self, that's the first thing you want to learn in therapy. For all of you that think and you want to kind of like pretend you're a doctor and say, you know, she talks about herself too much like Trump. That's good. They're called affirmations, especially if you have self esteem issues. If there's some substance to it. Like I'm actually discussing a story of my life, something you could pull out and say, wow, that's cool. We used to have this chef. He was awesome. He taught me so much. I mean, he would scream, the outside of that pot better look like the inside, just as clean. You know how you'll pick up a pot, it's all dirty on the outside, but the inside's clean? You had to have both. He would take pounds of potatoes, like for a day like today, big, the dark ones. And he'd throw them all in a dishwashing tray and run it through a dishwasher without the soap on. They'd come out steaming. That's where they get the thing hot potato. Hot potatoes are sometimes already cooked as well. So you had to take those off, and we had big, big rolls of gold tinfoil. And we'd wrap those up, and they'd be over your neck, over your shoulder. How you wrapping that up? There was a certain way to do that. Everything was done differently, okay? If you had butter, it had to come out in balls, like ice cream, with parsley on top. Everything was magnificent. Okay? And if you didn't believe in God, you did after you worked in my kitchen or where I worked. Because, you know, you never seen avocados, palm, coconuts, beautiful, beautiful produce, just gorgeous. Of course, that chef would scream, this isn't Denny's, but I seen him send dudes home that were going to carve that maybe he would go like that. And if there was any hair on their face, they couldn't stand out there in a big banquet room with ice carvings, harp players. It was pretty cool. Growing up kind of with no money or kind of like not introduced to the backstage of that type of life, you know, it's very interesting, you know, to see the performance of a five-star hotel, you know, throwing down a gig. I mean, I'm telling you what, I got to document this shit. This chef would walk up to us, you guys, and he'd have one plate, okay? And on that one plate, say it was a California chicken. So he'd have a chicken breast on there, and he would have a piece of white Monterey Jack cheese. Then he'd fan out an avocado. Then he'd have some rice pilaf right there. And he'd have something really exquisite on one hotel plate, you know, with the rim that's just really beautiful red, china. And he'd say, make 350 of these. And he'd set it down and walk away. This is the kind of pressure I'm used to, okay? And I'm getting a call right now, so I'm going to take it and I'll get back with you. Later, it's Miss Cool talking about her hotel days.